if you're on the path to improving your lead conversion rate or drastically improving your return on ad spend, also known as ROAS, it's easy to think that you've done everything possible, but let's be real, there's always more that you can do. Whether you're just starting out or looking to hit that next level, this video is for anybody that's on the path to $500,000 or $1 million months in their cash-based clinic. Now, regardless of you being a brick and mortar or a telehealth, this channel breaks down all the strategies that we use to scale businesses from 7 figures to 8 and even 9 figures. And in this particular video, we're gonna break down the exact things that you need to be doing regardless of having a telehealth business, a cash-based clinic, async or synchronous. And for those of you that don't know the difference between asynchronous and synchronous, think of like your HIMS or e-commerce business. That's an asynchronous business versus I have to go in and see a doctor or a salesperson and meet with somebody over the phone, over the internet, or in person. That's synchronous type of business. So they have to meet before that transaction happens. Regardless of the type, this video is for you. So in this video, we have 4 main things that we're going to be covering today. And this first thing is very important. Now, spoiler alert, it actually has nothing to do with marketing. Now, I know this channel is dedicated to marketing and making more money for your business, but you would not believe how many business owners in the telehealth, the brick and mortar space, and even some of these high ticket online health optimization offers that we run, where these owners, they literally gaslight themselves and they say, we've done everything. Nothing's our fault. Nothing's broken. It's not me. And then I go in and audit their businesses and they don't focus on how much of an importance sales is. Sales is the lifeline of your business. Now, if you're fully asynchronous, the sales isn't the issue. Generally, the issue for these asynchronous businesses is not sales. Then it's going to be they're gaslighting themselves. We've done everything. We have all the ads, this and that, but then it's like their website sucks. So these are the 2 main things that are drastically, these business owners, they're gaslighting themselves. Either I don't have a sales issue or my website's perfectly fine, and they're running some like really outdated website with all this shitty stuff. They're not willing to like make changes to the front end to get it optimized. With sales, I'll give you an example of something that I see a lot. I took on a client, they told me they were really good at sales, and I go in and audit their business, and none of them had done any sales really. They weren't calling the leads. They weren't doing any of the best practices. I sent multiple training videos to them. I have multiple training videos that I share with my internal teams, all of my clients' teams. They didn't implement any of it. And then a lot of times these business owners, like they'll hire sales reps that have no experience. Like you need specifically a salesperson with proven experience converting leads. So what does this mean? This does not mean somebody that's done door-to-door sales. This does not mean somebody that's done like real estate, or this does not mean somebody who sold business to business. This does not mean any of that. This means they have one very particular skill. I have a proven track record converting marketing leads, and not just for the last job, but the job before that, and ideally high ticket. Let's say you're a TRT clinic and you're a telehealth clinic. You want somebody that's going to come in on this $79 offer or $199 offer or $300, whatever this low amount of money is. And you need a savage who can take out $1,000 out of their pocket, $2,000 out of their pocket. Somebody who is comfortable converting a marketing lead and knows how to build the pain. So they need proven experience. Again, the other issue, so if it's not the sales on the front end that's preventing them, it's that website. So invest in a good web developer. Put the $10,000, $20,000 up front. Don't try to makeshift it. Don't try to have your homie do it or your friend or somebody who owes you a favor. Pay to play, because now you can hold people more accountable and get the website to a point where it's acceptable. So these are the most important things that I'm seeing on the front end that are really preventing their systems. They don't have good sales conversion, right? Because that's where the transaction happening, or their website isn't have a good conversion rate. It's not set up for success. It doesn't have the best practices that are preventing them from really doing what they need. Now, sometimes it's both. Sometimes their website looks like shit. They have a bunch of gimmicky offers and discounts. If you're watching this video right now, I encourage you to go to your business. You would not be surprised how many businesses I see. Go to your homepage, and very likely it's immediate, some jarbled like mess up, or some just really disorganized, not formatted properly coupon discount right away. So now you're just building your business as this discount business. The pop-ups generally don't work. Nothing works. Like, look at it on mobile and go look at the business that you're wanting to be like, and ask yourself, like, realistically, does this look anything comparable to what this business is that's winning? And then ask yourself, like, have you actually done everything to get your business in place? No. So you need to focus on the things that are going to actually move the ball forward. So if you're telehealth async, it's a website. website. And if you're non-async, it's going to be a sales team. Look at sales as like your manual marketing. It's personalized marketing. You got the lead. Now, what do? We build out 18 emails for our clients, strategic emails. Well, does marketing need to do that, or can a salesperson type up 18 emails and send them personally? If a salesperson did that, they'd probably have better conversion rates. Why? It's going from a dedicated sender. It's not going through a CRM. It's personalized to you, to John, to this person. Well, does marketing have to do all the 18 text messages? No, a salesperson can text them those 18 times too. And they're going to have higher deliverability because they're texting them from their personal phone versus a CRM. So again, I'm not saying we don't do those things. Marketing is going to do those things because it's going to build a system of efficiency, and we can see more data when marketing does it. But sales can do 100% of the things that marketing's doing, except the one thing, which is get that lead. So sales can do a lot of these things. People don't value it. They think, oh, Daniel, sales don't matter. I'm not in the business of sales. But then like they'll come to me and they're like, yeah, our sales suck. I'm like, so do sales matter or not? Like you're kind of contradicting yourself with what you're saying. Number two, the importance of sales training. So I touched briefly on how important sales experience is, but you also need clear sales training. So this is going to be systems for onboarding, product and service training. And if you want my complete B2C weight loss training program, I ran a call center. We used to convert the leads. I don't do this anymore, but I'm a marketer through and through, but we used to run that. I will give you access to this. All you got to do is comment below. And if you're liked and subscribed to this channel, I'm going to send you this for free. I spent months building this, hundreds of thousands of dollars building this, converting leads and marketing leads for weight loss, TRT, all of these clinics. So this is our scripts, everything. I'm going to just give it to you because I want to see you make more money. And if you make more money, you're going to want to hire me. And then, we can both make more money together. So sales training is very important. I have my entire training module, what you need to do from hiring to onboarding to training, all of that. You need good systems for onboarding. You need product training. You need a proven script. I don't want to even call it a script. We'll call it a talking track, a talk track, because it's not a script. If somebody's reading a script, they're not good. They're reading a script, having a conversation with somebody. So it's more of like bullet points and discovery that happens. Then you need training, role playing and training. Again, and this person needs to have lead conversion experience, proven lead conversion experience. I did sales for 13 years before I started converting marketing leads. I was good at sales. I've always been the best at sales. And I didn't realize how hard it was. I sucked at converting marketing leads for like 3 to 6 months. I had a coach every week. I would hop on a call with a coach. We'd review calls. I would hop on calls with my buddy and we would role play. We would objection handle. And it took me about 3 to 6 months to really learn how to convert marketing leads. I thought a lot of it was sales and product based and what most people think is sales, asking for money. Do you want to buy? Do you have any questions? But there's so much more to it that you have to have a discovery and then you have to know how to objection handle. And if you can do a good discovery and you know how to objection handle, selling what you sell is easy. But most people don't ever rate themselves. I did this for a client. They thought they were good at sales. They told me they were good at sales. I only took them on because they said they had sales experience. One of the people in their business was a sales trainer. I assumed this was going to be a layup deal for me. We were going to scale very aggressively. And, I had to let go of the client because they weren't good at sales. But what happened is I got all their transcripts. We love getting transcripts because that's how we can adjust our marketing. And I was like, you know what? Like something's off. I ran the transcripts through AI. It rated them a 5 out of 10. Okay, maybe this is a fluke. Let me just run some more. 5 out of 10. Some 4 out of 10, as high as a 5.5 out of 10. All of their calls. I was like, you know what? Maybe this prompt is just really up their ass. So I'm going to run it through my transcripts and some of my trained sales reps transcripts. Same prompt through and see what it does. Guess what? 9.7 out of 10. So I immediately knew they didn't know how to sell. And they did B2B sales. They had all this experience, but they don't know how to convert marketing leads. And if you don't know how to convert marketing leads, it's going to be a really bad time for you. And you're going to think that marketing isn't doing its job. Now, if you want me to help you run your marketing, help you hire and train your sales teams, I do this for a lot of my clients. I've helped them really scale aggressively. One of my clients right now, she just launched her 3rd location and she's hired 2 reps. I've helped her with the interview process. I put a lot of time and effort into my clients because again, I'm helping them drive more revenue and doing the work. And when I'm able to do that for them, they stay long term, they get money, they make money, and they're happy. So if you want to work with us, knock out the application below. Send me a DM if you have any questions. You can reach out to me at Patient Acquisition, that's my business page, or at Your Propagandist, that's my personal page. And let's make some money. Let's figure out what you guys are doing wrong to get your business really dialed in. Now, the third most important thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to optimize your funnel. So first, always check the load time. This is one of the easiest wins. Make sure it's set up that the servers, everything's optimized for load time. You want to additionally make sure it's mobile friendly. You'd be surprised how many are not. And then I'm going to show you a funnel here. You've got your VSL, and then we've got funnel B here. You're going to want to run split tests. So you got your headline, sub headline, and you got your headline. We'll call this headline B. We'll call this headline A. And you're going to run a split test. You want to optimize and see what is working the best. So you're constantly going to be tweaking things on the back end and seeing like what is working, right? If we're doing TRT for men, we can do like change up the call out, TRT for executives. There's little tweaks that we can do that to you isn't going to seem like a lot, but what's happening is two things. One, the AI is reading it. Google is reading it. It's saying, who am I going to place this ad in front of? It wants a conversion. It wants to make you money so you spend more money. So the platform is going to read it. Additionally, the user is going to read it. And if they click on an ad that isn't optimized around the messaging and the VSL on the page, you're going to have a bad time. So there's some best practices that we see. You know, what's the optimal calendar event time? How many questions are we asking in the application, in the intake forms? There's all types of things that we're doing to optimize this, but you have to be looking into the different areas of how you're optimizing the funnel. Number 4, I said there was 4 things. There's actually 5 things, so stay tuned. Number 4 is going to be leaning into what we call data-driven decisions. You'd be surprised how many business owners and marketers don't do this. You have to look at the right measures of success. One of the most common mistakes I see is they're looking at the wrong data. They're looking purely at lead cost, or like if you're a telehealth business, conversion cost. But that only tells you that specific thing, the lead cost. The most important thing that we want to focus on as marketers is ROAS, return on ad spend. So when you only look at lead cost, you're only seeing the cost of the lead. For example, you might have 2 ads running, one of them with a $100 lead, one of them with a $120 lead. And you say, okay, well, I'm going to cut the one that's a $120 lead. But what you might not have looked at is which did that ad actually drive higher ticket orders? Did that drive more revenue? Did that drive more sales? By doing that, you actually killed your campaign, your profitability. The thing that you care about is making money. Same thing with conversion rate, right? If you're only focused on CAC, and let's say you have like a 239 CAC versus a 279 CAC, and you know, this is what I see more on the telehealth side, is they cut the higher cost of CAC, but they don't look at some of the other data. What I see oftentimes is that's not driving as many conversions, but it's driving a lot of top of funnel awareness and getting people engaged. Do some people end up converting? Yes, that's why we're seeing that higher CAC, but a lot of people don't. They then don't complete the purchase. They don't finish the intake form. Well, the other ad is what drives the conversion when they're ready, because this software is only showing last click data. And then because of this, now when we cut that ad, we see that the costs slowly start to rise. So you have to make data-driven decisions. Another thing is looking at the CTRs and the CPMs. These are going to be indicators. Again, ROAS is the only thing that matters at the end of the day. And if we're not hitting the ROAS targets that we want, these are the things that we're going to look at: CTRs, CPMs, conversion rate on the landing page, conversion rate of the leads. And the last part is going to be, I talk about this a lot, is scaling success. So if we're doing a synchronous business, sync, not async, where a lead comes in and a sales team closes them, or they book an appointment, or they fill out an intake form and then somebody reaches out to them, before we start scaling, we're going to want to make sure to check all the KPIs. We don't want to just start spending, because we have to make sure that certain things are being hit, which would be like speed to lead, show rates, close rates. You want to make sure that everything is optimized before you start spending, because if these things are off by like a couple percentage points and you have like 5 or 6 things in the funnel, you know, which sales is part of that, from them not buying to them buying, there's all these essential bottlenecks that can happen, or blockers. If a handful of these things are off by 3 to 4%, that adds up times 5. That's like 15% difference in your performance. If you're wasting 15% of your spend at $100,000, that's $15,000. As you go to $1 million, that's $150,000. So as you start to scale aggressively, these small percentage points really have a big impact. So if you need a high-level strategist that can help you understand whether you have sales issues or marketing issues, whether you have conversion rate issues on your landing page, if you run a telehealth business, or you want somebody to help consult your marketing team, I do build and release offers where I build everything out for my clients. I put in my 8-figure team. We build out the ad copy, the VSLs, the funnels, all the CRM, all the marketing automations, and we hand it over to you and either train you or your marketing team on how to run it. Some businesses like that if they have established marketing teams, or if they're trying to launch something new and they're not as familiar with it. Additionally, I do performance marketing where you pay me a base retainer that gets me interested in the deal, and then I'm incentivized to get you to spending hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. I'm not interested in working with businesses that I can't add hundreds of thousands of dollars top line revenue. Actually, not just top line, but like I care about profit. How much are they profiting? That's how I get paid. So I want to help businesses hit 6 and 7 figures a month in profit. That's how I get big checks. I'm not interested in retainers. I'm only interested in working with a handful of clients that I can have massive impacts and help them on that path to 8. Additionally, I do some consulting and coaching. If you're a clinic owner that maybe wants to bring things in-house, or you just want me to help you get set up for a telehealth business or any of those things, knock out the application below, send me a DM, and we'll help get you started.